Nandalala Tere Pyare Nam Lahe Gopala Tere Pyare Nam Lahe Nandalala Tere Pyare Nam Lahe Vajorare Govinda Gopala Tere Pyare
Namaste and welcome. Swami Pharananda will begin by welcoming us, and if I can...
Namaste. Namaste again and welcome to the Babaji Festival. We're celebrating the living tradition of Kriya Yoga. And this has been a festival that has been celebrated for decades and was begun by our beloved guru Kriyananda, Goswami Kriyananda, and it's special and it's significant in that the time that we honor not only Babaji, our spiritual fountainhead, but also the Kriya lineage and the teachers that are now teaching. And a time for remembering and thinking and understanding the Kriya lineage. We have a wonderful group of people today, all set back. It's always just such a fun time of year. I think it's my favorite time of year. And we are really special. This is a special year. It's been 10 years since Kriyananda passed this earth plane. And, you know, it's just like he's still here a lot of times. Um, just, it's when you have your meditations and you can feel your Ishtadavatas and you can feel the lineage and those areas in your life that you pray to. So I'd like to just sit for a moment to just close our eyes and chant to the Yoga Kriya lineage. Om Shri Babaji Vanamaha. Om Shri Lahari Mahashi Vanamaha. Om Shri Yukateshwarji Vanamaha. Om Shri Yogananda Ji Vanamaha. Om Shri Goswami Kriyananda Vanamaha. We honor you and are just delighted that the teachings have blossomed. It's been just, we are blessed. There are so many people around the world. Kriyananda always said that he taught over 4 continents and beyond, I would say, probably more than just 4 continents. And to see all of you here are the disciples, swamis, and friends, students, teachers that are in their satsangs and in their homes and in such beautiful places. And we really, it's a time we really open our hearts, because it's been also known as the Babaji Festival of Joy. And for those of you that have seen, our old posters and things, we would used to have Ganesh. And Ganesh is the god of joy, expansiveness, and he would always be jumping and dancing. And that is really what this time of year is. It's a way of lifting our hearts. And it is a time of joy, which I'm sure with the people that we have speaking today, you will truly find seed or seeds of enlightenment and a greater awareness in your lives to take home with you. We began our festival with Swami Mahashastrananda and Janice Nakashima, who will also be playing throughout the festival. And we thank them for bringing this into our lives. And we do remember when we all sat and played, and at times in our lives when all of us sat together, including our beloved Kim Schwartz, who passed away last year, and many other musicians that we thank and keep in our prayers. People are never gone. Souls are never gone. We are all here together, and we shall always, always stay that way. It shall always be. We have the opening prayer and ceremony with Swami Mahashastrananda, and a mantra meditation then by Swami Nadananda and Janice Nakashima. After that, we're having a Kriya Yoga inspiration with Sylvia Ewing, who always does a wonderful, wonderful talk. And then we can't have a Babaji without this, Once Upon a Yogi Time stories with Swami Sumithrananda, Helene Palella, that we all know and love, the girl with the green mala, and the man with 10 days to live. So I just can't wait to listen to this and have a little chuckle in here. We have Swami Adinananda, Marcia Sachs, will also be giving a planetary changes. We have this every year with our Babaji, and several times during the year when Swamiji gives us insights into what's going on and how what things that we should really be looking at in the near future. And her planetary changes title today is The Eternal Dharma and the Living Lineage, an astrological perspective on time, evolution, and the Kriya teachings. Oh, that really sounds like that will really round out things here. And afterwards, Swami K. Japanananda will be giving Goswami Kriyananda's an inspiration. We always had a meditative inspiration. It's always one of the highlights of our noons and has always been thought as a very special time of the day when the energies are really at their focal point. And after, our musicians will again do a Kriyananda song, and this will be followed by Swami Pranananda Mahaswami with the title and the really theme of today's Babaji, the living tradition of Kriya Yoga and its lineage. And then again, our musicians, our wonderful, mystical, magical musicians, will close with a mantra meditation. And it's just been such a joy to be here with you. And I want to send my blessings to you all and to your families and your loved ones. And we are so glad to be here with you today. Namaste.
Namaste. I'd like to welcome each of you to my heart and to the Babaji Festival this year. I'm going to do a short blessing to open the Babaji Festival, and it includes a number of prayers that I got from a puja, which I do or have been doing for many years. I wasn't going to say much before the opening blessing, but as I was putting things together here and getting everything prepared, I was making rose water and milk and honey for the blessing of Ganesh, which I'm going to do shortly. And as I was doing that, a thought came to mind, and I thought maybe it would be good to share it with you. If I can take just a couple minutes. In the Bible, we have this concept of the land of milk and honey. And what triggered it was when I was making my concoction of milk and with some honey in it. And it's the idea of the promised land and being fruitful and sweet. And they talk about the promised land, and as they talk about it religiously, it's something we think of as a physical piece of land that they're talking about. But mystically, we look at the symbolism and we look at what's happening beyond the physical point that's being made. And if you look physiologically at what's happening within each of us, within you, within me, around the spinal column, there's a fluid. It's a cerebral spinal fluid that flows. And what they say is that if you shine a light through it, it has a kind of a milky, a white hue to it. And this is a fluid going around the spinal column. And then the pineal gland and the pituitary glands within the cranium, they secrete a substance. And the substance is kind of an amber, honey-colored substance. And obviously, mystically what we would say the land of milk and honey is not a physical piece of land, of real estate, but the land of milk and honey is inside of me, and it's inside of you. It's inside of each of us. And this is happening. And this secretion that occurs within the pituitary gland and the pineal gland and a couple other glands, this honey colored secretion or fluid that's there, it can emit a chemical that's DMT-like. And if you're familiar with that, what it does is it produces a state of bliss in the mind, a euphoric type of state. And so everything kind of fits and puts together when you understand the symbolism and the terminology and everything and how meaningful it is. So I thought I'd just pass that along. And so what I'd like to do now is just go into the ritual, and I won't say too much as I go along. If there's something here or there that I think I should point out, I'll do that. But mostly I'm going to just kind of go through these prayer blessings and prayers. Om Kesavaya Namaha. Om Chataya Namaha. Om Anantaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om. Now here's an invitation to Ganesh, the Master, and Babaji. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Om Shri Babaji Namaha. Om. And this is an invitation to Lord Ganesh to join the ceremony this afternoon. Om Sumukha Shaika Danta Sha Kapilo Gajna Karna Kaha Lambo Darsha Vigato Vigna Rajo Gana Dipa Dumaketor Gana Dayak Sho Pala Chandro Gajanaha Dwade Saitani Namini Ya Pata Tri Nuya Dapi Sarvakaya Samarambe Vignastaya Najate. Om Shri Babaji Namaha. Om Suklam Baraharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujajam Prasanna Vada Nam Dayayat Sarva Vigno Pasantaye. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And now the Guru is venerated and invited to join. Om Brahmanandam Paramam Suklam Kevalam Janamurtim Devadvayat Tatim Aganasad Rasham Tatwam Asadye Lakshamayam Ikam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarva Vadi Sak Shibutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rathitam Sat Gurum Tam Nami Chaitane Shatwanam Shantanam Nirakaram Niram Janam Nirabindu Kalatitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Mahashwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahman, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyana Mala Guru Murti Puja Mulam Guru Param Mantra Mulam Guru Vakyam Moksha Mulam Guru Kripa Om Nama Shiva Ya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaye Shantaya Shivanatayate Namaha. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Om Shri Babaji Namaha. Om. And now I do the ritual bathing with rose water and milk. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uruvu Kamiva Bandinan Mrityur Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uruvu Kamiva Bandinan Mrityur Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uruvu Kamiva Bandanan Mrityur Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uruvu Kamiva Bandanan Mrityur Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uruvu Kamiva Bandanan Mrityur Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uruvu Kamiva Bandanan Mrityur Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uruvu Kamiva Bandinan Mrityur Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uruvu Kamiva Bandanan Mrityur Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uruvu Kamiva Bandanan Mrityur Mukshi Amamritat. Om. And now I'm going to adorn all the attendees with Shiva ash, sandalwood paste, and kumkum. Om Tat Purushaya Chimahi Mahadeva Dimahi Tano Ruja Prachatayate. Om Tat Purushaya Chimahi Mahadeva Dimahi Diho Yonat Prachadayate. Om Tat Purushaya Chimahi Mahadeva Dimahi Tano Rudra Prachadayate. Om Tat Purushaya Chimahi Mahadeva Dimahi Tano Rudra Prachadayate. And this is sandal paste. Gandwaram Durudasham Nishapusha Kardashinam Ishwara Sarva Bhutanam Tami Hopawai Shriyam Gandwaram Yami Gandwara Durudasham Nishapushtam Kardashinam Ishwara Sarva Bhutanam Tami Hopawai Shriyam Gandwaram Yami. And then finally, sandal paste. Excuse me, kumkum. Om Aim Hrim Krim Chamundai Vishe Namaha. 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 And now I'm going to wave the Jyoti lamp. Om Antar Jyoti Bahir Jyoti Prachak Jyotihi Parat Paraha Jyotir Jyotihi Swayam Jyotihi Racham Jyotihi Shivasmayaham Antar Jyoti Bahir Jyoti Prachak Jyotihi Para Paraha Jyotir Jyoti Jyoti Swayam Jyoti Racham Jyoti Shivasmayaham. Om. Now I will chant the Gayatri mantra 3 times. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diho Yonat Prachodayate. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diho Yonat Prachodayate. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diho Yonat Prachodayate. And this is just the blessing of some of the fruit that I brought with for the blessing. And then just to conclude the short prayer ritual this morning, I will chant the Isha mantra. Om Purnat Purna Madaham Purnat Midam Purnat Purna Mudakshate Purnatsya Purna Madhya Purna Miwa Vaishashate. And then just one final note, a message, actually from a special friend who gave this message to me, and I want to pass it along to you. May the sacred river of milk and honey rise within you. May the heart of Babaji and the light of Kriyananda shine in your breath, your hands, your words. May the invisible temple of the soul become visible through your offering. And may every friend who gathers, seen and unseen, feel the golden thread of unity you help to weave, that we help to weave. Blessed be your voice, your prayer, your steps, your light. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you.
This mantra translates loosely as, may everyone everywhere be blessed with sweetness and shanti, peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti,
It's good to be with you on this Babaji Festival. And I was thinking that it has been 20 years for me to be a part of this community. 2005 was my first exposure to Goswami Kriyananda before becoming a disciple. What a gift to find a teacher who made so many things clear, who understood the good of the world, encouraged you to learn, to read, to question, to know history, to be a part of the world, not apart from it. Today I'm wearing a gown, a throbe from Egypt, a place that Kriyananda studied and respected and had so many books about, given to me by a daughter-in-law. The world is large, and yet it is small. There are maybe 8 billion of us, and we are all so connected. So in the time that we have together that's allocated for me, I want to talk with you a bit about the brilliance of ordinary people, the power of practice, how to grow the good in the world and not feed the monkeys, the monkey mind, the monkey thoughts that bring negativity. If that's all right with you, that's what my focus will be. And I hope it is inspiring because there's what we can influence in our circle, in the reach of our Zoom, in our homes, within our 6 feet. And there's all the things that we are interested in, but we cannot influence. And understanding not to be stymied or stopped because of the things you can't do, but to focus on the love and what you can do is powerful and will keep you sane. Now, I have to give a little context to this moment. This Babaji in 2025, we've had friends make their transition. We've had the Pope, who was a good man, make his transition. And we're living in a time where there are those who want to divide us, who want to police language, the books that Kriyananda encouraged us to read, who want to ban books and language, and take us back to a time when we didn't all have rights. And I'm here to tell you that won't win, that love, faith, resilience, goodness will overcome this season. I am known as someone who is joyful, and I cried deep, hot tears the other day, worrying about the children in Gaza, worrying about just the state of the world. But I have faith in those who will follow us. I have faith in the ancestors, in the lineage. I have faith in the religion of my mother. I have faith in the world that we will be all right. And I have faith because I've seen people in places like Bali where It is so close. Every day they make these beautiful flower offerings, dozens, to put around their home and their property to remind them of those who have passed and to offer blessings and prayer to those that they believe as their form of the divine. I have faith because I see people like my friend Lisa in Chicago, who worked 18 years to create a museum for public housing. Why is that important? Public housing was once a place where people got a leg up, where Black and white and immigrant and other folks found dignity and home and community. And it's important to know that history when it is demonized as a place where only certain people live or a place of danger. And just the success to have 18 years and then to create something powerful that lives and tells history. An ordinary person who brings brilliance. And here in this group, there are friends who helped me create a series of meditations for children during COVID. They were used at Comer Children's Hospital, and it was a way to go outside of your body, to be inside your spirit, to break patterns of thought. And I have to thank Swami Nadananda, Mahaswami, and Janice Nakashima, and my friend Isaac Stanley for manifesting on the earth plane a way to bring goodness and comfort, relief, and joy to people when they need it. Within this space, there are people every day who are giving love and joy, hope and resilience, teachers, disciples. Kriya Yoga is for every faith practice. Kriya Yoga is here to offer you a science and a way to live, a way to bring into your daily life steps, techniques, ways to touch your highest self and to serve. And I have hope because I know that the children from a generation that we often define by the addiction of their parents, they're coming into power. As a boomer, I apologize for all that we did wrong, our selfishness, the way we hurt the earth. But I know that my children, my grandchildren, my friends that are Generation X, that are millennials, will see the fruits that perhaps we planted but did not harvest well. And I know that the teachings from our beloved Goswami Kriyananda are aligned with the teachings that are all good in the world. I'm grateful for those who came before. I know that we'll talk more about that lineage. Babaji teaching Lahiri Mahasaya, teaching Yukteswarji, teaching Paramahamsa Yogananda, teaching Shelleyji, teaching Goswami Kriyananda, teaching us, and that teaching continues. I am an aunt to people who are from a lineage of Pakistan, Spain, Detroit, Pennsylvania. I am a grandmother to folks with lineage in Puerto Rico and in Egypt. I am a friend I am a human having a human experience, but really a spiritual being walking the path with you. And I want to share something that Kriyananda said that I hope will inspire you. He said that truth is a fragile living event, and thus it must be carried from generation to generation, or else it will die. Be thee the carrier of the plant of truth. Carry it and nourish it with your own inspiration, and then pass it on from your inner mind to their inner mind. Let your voice be heard, but do it with balance. Not too much food, not too little food. Not too much news, not your head in the sand. Give as much love with wisdom, because that can never be given enough. And take a moment now just to sit quietly and think of the ancestors who came before you. Think of the lineage. Think of those who taught you and shared wisdom from our Kriya Sangha, from your family. Sit with that in silence and let it comfort you, nourish you, and give you joy. You cannot see wisdom in the so-called outside world unless you see wisdom within you, Kriyananda said. You cannot see splendor outside unless you recognize splendor internally. You cannot find peace in the world unless your inner life is in harmony. Send your loving prayer, your light, your hope, your joy, not your fear or anger. Address your hurt and heal yourself, but be a part of the good in the world, because good and faith and love are all around us every day. Make it part of your practice to go IRL in real life, to look up at the sky, to say hi to someone, to become a regular at your neighborhood library or coffee shop, to connect with people, because people are good and you are good. And we have what we need to overcome this season and to be in joy. Before we are distracted by the veil of difference and separation, before a sleepwalking life disguises our star-made divinity, we have moments of clarity when we can see that we are the one we serve and the one who serves us is life. If we are attentive, we can remember our birth and recapture the fresh joy of being alive.
Welcome to another Babaji Festival. I wore my sun because it always makes me think of the sun. And I can't think of a Babaji Festival without having some stories that Kriyananda told some good ones. I hope I can pass some of them on to you. The first one is called The Girl with the Green Mala. This was a young yogini. She possessed a beautiful emerald mala, and she just took great pride in it. But one day she was so tired, she went and fell asleep in her bed, fully clothed and everything. And she awoke and stretched a little and put her hand under the pillow. That's where she kept her mala. No mala. No mala. What what am I going to do? So she ran next door to her sister and said, sister, my emerald mala's gone. And her sister starts laughing. She says, what are you doing? You're laughing at my discomfort. She says, settle down. And she says, come on into my meditation room. And she brought her down there, and she really tried to sit down and calm herself. My mala, where is it? And finally, she was able to calm herself down a bit and do some deep breathing. And when she started coming out of her meditation, her sister had placed a mirror in front of her. What did she see? She had on her mala all along, and it was never lost, but she didn't know that until she was able to really quiet herself and realize that the mala was there. But the other story is there was a man who, very pompous kind of man, walked into the Swami's room and said, I want to know what's life and what everything that yoga has to give me. And the Swami looked at him and said, I'm terribly sorry. You're gonna die in 10 days. Die in 10 days? I didn't think anything was wrong with me. He says, I'm sorry, sir, but if you live past those 10 days, I want you to come back to me, and then we'll see. The man went home totally very unhappy. And as soon as he got home, his accountant came up to him and said, that man that owes you all that money cannot pay you back. So should we put him in jail? The man said, no, do not put him in jail. No, let him keep the money. If it'll give him happiness, let him keep the money. This was not at all like this man was. People did not like him in the town because he was a rather pompous person. And so then he called up his brother. He hadn't talked to his brother in years because he always kind of looked down at his brother. He wasn't right. So he called his brother. He says, let us make amends. His brother was shocked, and he was very happy to finally get his brother back. And then the man said, what am I doing with all this money? I have a lot of money. People need the money. So he starts making out checks, one check after another, because the world needed things, and he saw he could provide it. He never felt that before, but this was a new age, a new understanding of things. And he was giving away money, and 10 days passed. By this time, he was a wreck and in bed because he couldn't even get up and go. He said, but I got to get to the Swami again. It's been 10 days and I'm still alive. So by this time, the town people loved him because he had changed his whole demeanor. I mean, he went from a really gruff, pompous man to a very caring person, and they all took him in their arms and carried him across the way to the Swami, and they put him at the Swami's feet. And the man said, well, it's 10 days. You said I was going to be dead in 10 days. I'm still here. I'm a little weak and everything, but I'm still here. And the Swami said, well, let's meditate on this a little bit, and then we'll talk. So they sat, and he kind of calmed himself and did some deep breathing. And he says, okay, now I want to know all about yoga. And the Swami said to him, you know all about yoga. That's exactly what you've been through these past 10 days. Are the people, do they dislike you like they did? He says, no, they like me. They carried me over to you. He says, is there Are you happier? Yeah, I'm happier. He was kind of surprised because he didn't think that this would work. But he says, you've learned what yoga is all about. Now go home and continue to practice it. And that is Om, Tat Sat Om. May you all go out and practice the yoga that we all.
Namaste. And thanks again, Sumithrananda, for your wonderful stories. I just love them. And I want to welcome everybody again to the Babaji Festival. Today, I'm going to talk about planetary cycles and the Kriya lineage. A while back, Lahiri Mahashaya met Babaji, and the Kriya teaching was transmitted to him, and that was the start of our lineage. But here's something interesting. We actually have the date of that meeting. This wasn't a fiction story. This was real life. We have the date of that meeting, and therefore we can look up where the planets were on that day and draw up a chart, a horoscope of that event when something wonderful was born. When Lahiri Mahashaya met Babaji on November 27th, 1861, Pluto was in Taurus. The new moon today, that's going to be at 2:30 p.m. our local time, Central Time, 2:30 p.m., with the sun and the moon at 7 degrees of Taurus, which conjuncts Pluto in the chart of the event of their meeting at 8 degrees Taurus. So Pluto is the planet of transformation, and it is significant in that chart, but also in the chart of the new moon today. And it was a totally transformational meeting, both for Lahiri Mahashaya and for us. So we have to imagine that it wasn't just Lahiri who met Babaji on that day and was given the Kriya teachings and the meditation techniques. It was also us. So today we are here, and you're out there somewhere, but we're all here and there at that time, at the same time. So today is a very auspicious day. And honestly, every time we have the Babaji Festival in April, around the April new moon, and around Kriyananda's birthday in April, we're touching that point in time and space again and again, almost like when somebody rings a gong, and we get the vibration of that event every time. Today is a very auspicious day. Another interesting thing that I observed in that chart was that Jupiter, of the chart of that meeting, was conjuncting Saturn in Virgo. Now, Kriyananda talked many, many times in his astrology courses about the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, which happens every 20 years, and that it symbolizes the transmission of teaching from the cosmos to the earth, or from the divine to humans. And it has a lot of other meanings, of course, but this is, I thought, oh my goodness, look at that chart. It has an incredible significance in terms of transmitting something from a being, a human being like Babaji, who also was an enlightened being, and him transmitting that to not just to Lahiri Mahashaya, but through our lineage to all of us. And one other thing that I was thinking about, along with, as I was looking at the patterns, and there's a lot of them, and I'm just touching on a few of the really important ones today, but they're back a long time ago, and by a long time ago, I mean going back to sometime between 500 and 600 BCE, before the Common Era, the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, had a great conjunction in Taurus. This is a very unusual conjunction. It doesn't happen very often, hardly at all ever. When they're all unless you're talking like thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It hasn't happened since. But some people think that this conjunction of these three outer planets brought forth an amazing period of time when Buddhism, Jainism, Zoroastrianism, Confucianism, Taoism, and most likely things that we don't always read about, things in Mesoamerica and things in Africa. But at that time, the ones that we know commonly are Buddhism, Jainism, all Confucianism, Taoism. These were all either founded or came to prominence at that time. And so in my mind, I'm imagining all these wise souls walking around the earth at that time. Buddha, Lao Tzu, Confucius, Zarathustra, and many, many more. It's like, there's always some cycles where there's a few wise souls born. There's always wise souls born, right? But this was an amazing, amazing conjunction, amazing period of time that still affects us in our lives today. So in astrology, we look to this conjunction and then the cycles of the outer planets as they transit around the zodiac. And each time they come together, they trigger off new cycles of teaching and higher learning. And so I was reflecting on one of them as it relates to the Kriya lineage. And it's one that happened during my lifetime, which was in many of our lifetimes. So in 1965 and in 1966, there was a Uranus-Pluto conjunction. And right around in those years, that was the time that Goswami Kriyananda started teaching it formally in the setting of the Temple of Kriya Yoga. And at the same time, there were many, many people who were starting to be attracted to and attuned to what the media called New Age ideas, when in fact, of course, yoga and things along those lines are very ancient. Another thing I was thinking about, because of the planetary changes that are happening this year, is Uranus in Gemini. And on this year, on January 7th, 2025, the outer planet Uranus moves into the sign Gemini. And I found some interesting correspondences to that in the lives of the lineage. In January of 1894, Sri Yukteswar, the disciple of Lahiri Mahashaya, met Babaji. So it wasn't just Lahiri that met Babaji, but also Sri Yukteswar met Babaji in 1894 at Kumbh Mela in Allahabad. It was there that Babaji asked Sri Yukteswar to write his book, which became the book, The Holy Science. And so, of course, I looked up the cycles of the outer planets at that time, and there was a Neptune-Pluto conjunction, which, by the way, is also in Yogananda's birth chart, because he was born right around that time as well. There was a Neptune-Pluto conjunction, so these outer planet conjunctions, and it was around 9 degrees Gemini. So think about X number of years later, because Uranus is it has an 80-year cycle, so it happens a little sooner than the Great Conjunction, which hasn't happened since 500 BC. But Uranus was in Gemini when Kriyananda went to Shelley for the first time in the late 1940s. Gemini, as many of you know, is about communications, not scholarly communications. Gemini is all about everyday life communications. And many times when Kriyananda was at the ashram with Shelley, other disciples would ask Shelley, why don't you write a book? And so one day Kriyananda also asked Shelley, Shelley, you really know a lot and you've been teaching me a lot. Why don't you write a book? And Shelley looked at Kriyananda and said, Kriyananda, you are my book. And Kriyananda, as we know, became a wonder of teaching and writing. But they weren't deep philosophical tomes. His stories and his writing and his teachings were all interspersed with stories of real life, which made for us all of those spiritual teachings so much easier to understand. And don't forget, one of Kriyananda's key phrases is, the everyday life is your spiritual life. Therefore, as Uranus goes into Gemini in July of this year, one of the things we should be thinking about is what can we learn? Or even for those of us who are teachers, what are the new methodologies for teaching? So even though distance learning and remote learning has been around for many years, it's evolved, as some of us can attest, from mailing in what we call now snail mail, from mailing audio recordings on cassette tapes along with huge binders of printed pages. We've gone from there to instant downloads of MP3s and PDFs and infinite amounts of videos on demand. So between Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus in Gemini for technology, whether computers or artificial intelligence, the experience of education will be transformed in ways that we really can't even comprehend now. So we just need to be flexible and learn new things. And also just remember that there are some, along with all these planetary changes, there are some eternal truths, some things that are totally eternal. One of them is that we're spirit. We're not just our bodies, that we're spirit, and we are eternal. And also remember that no step on the path is ever lost, and that according to Kriyananda, you can attain illumination in this very lifetime. You are not on the path alone. We always invoke Lord and lineage, the saints and sages of all religions, of all times and places. There's an infinite divine goodness that surrounds us, in which we can immerse ourselves. And may you find that, and may you be blessed that you might be a greater and greater and greater blessing to others. Thanks so much for being here today. Namaste.
Shanti, everybody. My name is Swami Japanananda, and may I welcome you this afternoon. Our beloved Guru, or Param Guru for some of you here, Goswami Kriyananda, began the tradition of this Babaji celebration here in Chicago in 1972, over 50 years ago. And it was called the Babaji Festival of Joy. And it was held each year at this time to honor Sri Babaji, the fountainhead of the Kriya Yoga lineage, of which many of us here are initiates and students. And we've been so blessed to be spiritually connected to this holy Kriya lineage. And as you may know, the technique of Kriya Yoga was brought to this country from India by Paramahansa Yogananda, who initiated Sri Shelley Trimmer into the technique of Kriya Yoga. And Sri Shelley Ji, as you know, was the guru of Goswami Kriyananda, who is the guru and Param Guru to many of us here. And the lineage is carried on and on in that way. Goswami Kriyananda was a very gifted guru and inspirational teacher, and he shared so much of his spiritual wisdom, so much of his divinity as a guru, as a mirror, as a light, who taught us about Kriya Yoga, spiritual consciousness, the divine consciousness that dwells not on some cloud above us high in the sky, but within our own consciousness. If we can meditate true enough to attune to it in our own being, he taught us about our original goodness, not our original badness. And he gave us so many guidelines and teachings on how to live, how to stay balanced, how to soften our karma, how to meditate and find happiness while walking this really beautiful pathway to God. His continual mantra was, seek out your own illumination with great diligence. And he continually reminded us to live unselfishly, unselfish love, unselfish service. And he himself lived that unselfishness. He dedicated his entire life to his disciples and students and the teachings of Kriya Yoga and the mystical path. He was a wonderful mystic. In the early 1970s, at one of the Babaji festivals, which I attended, he gave a beautiful message about peace. It's very simple. He said, peace, the great gift of God that dwells within us. And after that meditation was over, he asked me to transcribe it, which I did. And he left me a copy of it. And this afternoon, I would like to read or share a few of his teachings from that Babaji message. It's 5 minutes, and I truly hope his words have some meaning and some worth for you. And these are his words. My beloved, this morning, I have 3 short messages for you. The first, Shanti, peace. And the second, Shalom, peace. And the third, my peace I give unto you. Whether we call it the peace of Christ or Krishna, or the magic shalom of the ancient days, or the Shanti of the yogi on the bank of the sacred Ganges, the words differ, but the feeling is one, peace, the great gift of God that dwells within us, that we must awaken and express in our love life, in our business life, in our working, our playing, our laughing, and our toiling. For it is that peace that makes life meaningful, and that peace, which is wisdom, is what I am attempting to teach you. The peace of God, the blessing of God, is forever like the sunlight. The light of the sun is always there. The clouds come and the clouds go, and it is we who must lift above those clouds to see it, to see the dawn eternal and the valley of the unobstructed mind, the mind divine, the peace within. Now, the great mystical teachings are threefold and simple. If you can count to 3, you can know the golden key. And the first is to know that you can have peace if you think right. And second, you can have peace if you love right. And third, you can have peace if you meditate right. We must learn to think wisdom. We must learn to love with wisdom. We must learn to meditate with wisdom. To think correctly is to know the law of life, and the law of life is simple. We, you and I, all of us, we are here in this world not for a tennis match, not for a bingo party, and not to write books. We are here to learn, to evolve, and to unfold into the totality of our being. And to love correctly is to know that life is a matter of relationships. Your relationship with people is important. Your relationship with God is extremely important. But your relationship with yourself, it is supremely important. God loves you, and God knows how dearly I love you. But my love and the love of God and Guru, the love of Lord and lineage is not enough if you don't have the blessing of your own being. It is not enough if you cannot feel and find love within your heart for your own temple. And if you cannot love and respect yourself, how can you love mankind? And if you cannot love mankind, dare tell me that you love God. To meditate correctly is to meditate daily and to know that in the temple of your life, there are many sanctuaries and they must be fed. They must be nourished. The Jyoti light, the flame of truth must burn in the sanctuary of your life. The Holy One must be honored. Who is the Holy One? I call it life. And life is sacred, but all life is sacred. Not just you, not just me, not just woman, not just man, but all sentient life forms. And that includes all the dogs and all the cats, the rabbits, yes, even the cockroaches and the bed bugs and the rats. They are all creatures of God, and we must honor them. To live right, we must understand and please attune, please hear me, that life does not promise that there will be no problems, but life does promise that you will have the strength to handle those problems. We are here in this life called Earth, this plane, this sector of time, to grow, to know the full reaches of the spirit that dwells within us. But unless to some degree that spirit is tested, we will not attune to the strength within us and come to the realization that we can learn by love rather than by fear. We can learn by joy rather than by pain, for pain does not ennoble the soul. And to find in this body, in this life, in this mind, now, here, this day, just a little more joy and strength and beauty. My beloved, wherever you go, may you find the principle of peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And wherever you go, may you carry those seeds of peace and wisdom and share them with those around you. Namaste, my beloved. Shanti.
I will take my boat and row to Ananda. Your love is the ore, Kriyananda. I will take my boat and row to Ananda. Your love is the ore,
like to share some important inspiration today about the living tradition of Kriya Yoga and its lineages. Today you've heard many people talk about the Kriya Yoga lineage that we are a part of, beginning with Sri Babaji, Lahiri Mahasaya, Sri Yukteswarji, Paramahansa Yoganandaji, Sri Shaliji, Goswami Kriyananda. It's only one. That's only one branch. Kriya Yoga is a mystical tradition, and in a sense is like a baobab tree. The baobab tree is one of the world's largest trees. It has long, long, long life. They have been able to find baobab trees that have 2,500 years of life. For the middle human, that's a long life. The baobab tree lives in the harshest of conditions and contains the water of life within it. So much so that the people who know the baobab tree, who live near it, they are sheltered by its branches. But in drought, in times of difficulty, there is a way, without hurting the tree, to tap the water of life from that tree. As there is a way to tap the wisdom of Kriya from all of the Kriya traditions. Now, there are many traditions, and it's so important. All are equal. Now, one tradition is not any better than the other tradition. They're all right for different people. Some people, it's more important to attune to the love, some to the practical aspects, some to the more esoteric aspects, some to the service aspects. One is not any better than any other. You will attune to the teachings that are important for you, that resonate for you. Now, and Goswami Kriyananda, and I mention this because it's really vital, he says again and again explicitly that every branch is suited to someone. Now, his particular branch of the Kriya tree is called Kriya Jyoti, the flame of Kriya. And this is attuned to the more esoteric wisdom. There are two Kriya goals in every evolutionary cycle, and this is very important to speak this today. And I'm really speaking 80% of this is Kriyananda's words and 20% is mine, just as it is for all of us. But this is important, whether you are a disciple of Kriyananda's or one of his disciples, or you're a student of Kriya Yoga, or you just came here for the first time. The purpose, the first purpose, is to generate, not to convert the masses. This isn't a superhighway, all right? But to generate what Kriyanandaji called wisdom keepers, or keepers of the keys. People, you and me, souls, that understand the esoteric practices, and that we understand them because we have been taught them, we have practiced them, and we have gained wisdom from them. So the first purpose in all evolutionary cycles of Kriya Yoga is to generate wisdom keepers. For the keys of the teachings which enable humankind to attain cosmic consciousness must be guarded. They must be protected so that they are available. This generation to that. Kriyananda always used to say, well, we have to make sure that it's here for when we come back. I'm doing this so that it will be able to be here when I come back, he would say, oftentimes to me. And I have thought many, many, many times, what am I doing to feed the teachings, to protect the teachings, to share them, to guard them, to share them with you, and with others who need and want them, so that it will improve your life, so that you too will guard them and share them, so that they are there. Now, Kriyananda said that the teachings of Kriya need to be there for the time when the world is ready for them. When there's been a burnout of all the anger, the hatred, the emotionality of the mind, and they are ready to accept the teachings. But in every time, in this time, there are people who are ready to hear the teachings and to apply them into their lives. As we are, who are here. This is what we are here for today, is to hear this. Become the second goal. The other goal, the second goal is, well, first the goal is to become a wisdom keeper. You become a keeper of the wisdom. You study, practice, improve your life. Find those three jewels above the head of God: wisdom, nonviolence, and compassion. Find them, hold them, sustain them. And the second goal is when you become a wisdom keeper. When you become a wisdom keeper. And this is something that Kriyananda was quite remarkable at, is he said, when wisdom has arisen, that you must initiate disciples. Initiate other keepers of the wisdom. It's very simple. Kriya Yoga is not about any organization. It's not about anybody, any person, any thought. There's only one truth, and there's only one way. It was something that Kriyananda always said was like a signpost. If you see somebody saying to you, well, come my way, there's only my way, it has to be done, I'm the only one, the first thing to do is say, I am thinking that maybe this should be a big warning. If somebody says, I'm the only one that can fix it, big warning. Neti, neti, neti. This is not the way. The teachings are living. They are between one soul and another soul. So we never ever confuse organizations with the Kriya teachings. That's not to be done. Nor are you to confuse the guru relationship with a disciple with the teachings. What is to be protected is the teachings, my beloved, because it is the teachings that we wish and need to sustain and sustain and sustain and sustain. You know, something that Kriyananda said all the time. Love the teachings, not the teacher. Love the teachings. For it is the teachings that will sustain you. It is the teachings that will bring meaning to you. It is the teachings that are important. The teacher is human. The teacher is going to disappoint you at some point in time. They will not be able to help so. Seek to understand the teachings. The teaching will never fail you. Seek to understand it. Seek to perfect your understanding as a way of life, so that you live and embody the teachings, that you live and embody compassion, that you live and embody understanding and kindness in everyday life. Find joy in your everyday life. Find equanimity in your everyday life. And know the cycles of life. Oh, this moment, it's here now. What a wonderful moment we have now. Ah, voila, it's gone. And we're into the next one. Hold on to the truth, my beloved. Hold on to that which will help you and sustain you in all of your life. The Kriya teachings are alive for you to hold on to incorporate into your life, to become a key holder, the keeper of the wisdom. You have to have the wisdom must arise within you in order for that to happen. It has to arise. And then when it arises, share it with others so that they too will become keepers of the wisdom. For like the baobab tree, with its roots spreading all over, so are the Kriya teachings, alive through all conditions. Through drought and famine, the teachings are alive. Let them live within your heart at this moment. Let them live within every cell of your being. Find joy and radiate that joy. Feel compassion and radiate that compassion. Know that you are good and radiate that goodness to all others. Know that you are good. Know that they are good. Accept them. You may not like what they're doing, but accept them. Accept them. Love them. Find the right, wisest way to live upon the earth at this moment. And share that wisdom that you have. And know this, my beloved, know this. You have wisdom that will help. Your wisdom will help souls that Kriyananda ji couldn't help, that Shelley ji couldn't help, that Paramahansa Yogananda couldn't help. Your wisdom that I can't help, that Nadananda, that Mahashastrananda, you have wisdom. And as you live and gain wisdom through the filter of your consciousness, and you expand into cosmic consciousness, you have a unique capacity to share that with others. Do that. Hold it. See your own goodness. Om Tat Sat Om. Thou art that. My deepest gratitude to you for having shared your energy with us today, your blessings with us today, the blessings of your presence.
We've heard the message of Shanti quite a bit today. The mantra we're going to close with is the Om Shanti 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 mantra. So, of course, we invite you to be chanting along with us, or to be sitting in the quiet and feeling the mantric vibrations of that word Shanti and Om. Shanti.
Namaste ji. Thank you all for being here with us today. It's wonderful to see you all, Libra. It's so good to see your face. Namaste ji. So many of you that we haven't seen in a while. Thank you for joining us. Nadananda ji, does anybody else wish to say anything?
I think you made it quite complete. Thank you, everybody who participated and shared today with your meditations, vibrations, and wonderful knowledge and wisdom, stories, humor, all of it. Thank you so much. Blessings.
Namaste ji. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Nanda la la